Hello students, let's start another chapter, class 5 EVS, weather and climate. Very easy and a small chapter. Weather is defined as the condition of the atmosphere at a particular place at a particular time. There are days when it is hot and sunny, and there are days when it suddenly starts raining and becomes cool. On some days, a dust storm in the morning may be followed by clear skies in the evening. This is because the weather of a place keeps changing every day. Sometimes it even changes several times in the same day. Weather may change from place to place, time to time, day to day, or season to season. See, here they have explained what you see on daily basis. Like you go in the morning at school and it is really very good weather, and by the afternoon it starts raining. So it keeps on changing. What do we read in the newspaper? It is the weather update. Okay, even in the news, if morning assembly, you read out the weather news, right? Now, who are meteorologists? They keep daily records of temperature, precipitation, and the wind. From this data, they get an idea of the weather. Or you can say those people who study about the weather details are meteorologists. And what are the things which they study in weather? This is what is temperature, precipitation, and wind. Okay. Now we come to the second topic, which is climate. Now, what is climate? Now, climate refers to the weather conditions of a place over a long time, usually 30 years. Now, different parts of the world have different types of climate. See, what question can come? Either you define weather, majority of the time, the difference between weather and climate. Weather, atmospheric condition at a particular place at a particular time. Average weather condition of a place that continue for a long time. See, this 30 years is important when we write, because when you say over a long period, you have to mention it is generally 30-35 years. It keeps on changing, it does not change. Then it can change even on daily basis. This does not change. Small place, this here we talk about a big area, right? So like, see, weather can change even after going for 2 kilometers from your house. The weather will change, but the climate will not change. Okay. So these are the differences. Now, what are the factors? Like when we say in India, see, you have to remember the places. Whenever we do the political map of India is very important, because the questions come regarding the cities. Like Delhi has a dry climate as compared to places like Mumbai or Kolkata. Why? Because they are more near the sea. So if you do not know the location of these cities, sometimes it becomes very difficult to answer, especially the hilly areas or the hill stations. So there are many factors which influence the climate of a place. So the first factor is distance from the equator or latitude. Remember, this is also called latitude, because here the question comes, how does latitude affect the climate of a place? Explain. Okay. Or how does distance from the equator affect the climate of a place? Now see, if this is the earth, at the equator, the sun rays, they fall directly or vertically, small area, focused, so more hot. As we move away from the equator, the sun rays are more slanting and they spread over a large area. So there are 2 points, remember: small area, large area, direct vertical sun rays, slanting sun rays. This area is hot, this area is cooler as compared to the equator. Okay. Now we come to distance from the sea. One word which is very important when it comes to sea is that sea and ocean exerts a moderate effect on the climate of a place. This comes as a filling the blanks. Now this chapter is also present till class 10. So you remember this. Sea exerts a moderate climate. How? This we are going to read. Now what happens is that water heats up and cools slower than land. Remember that this is very important. During the night, the sea is warmer, because as we said, cooling will takes place slower than the land. So the sea remains warm at night. So the air above the sea gets warm, becomes lighter and rises. Cool air from the land flows to fill the empty space. So this is called land breeze. Why? Because the movement of air is from the land to the sea during night. So during night we have land breeze. and the opposite happens during day. And why it happens is, see, always remember that whenever the air is warm, it always moves up. It is lighter, so it moves up. And the cooler air, it is dense, so it remains near the surface. Now during night, the air from the land goes to the sea, so it is called land breeze. And during the day, the land is warmer, so the air above the land gets warm, becomes lighter, so the cool air from the sea is heavier. So that is why the areas which are near the coastal regions or near the sea, they always have this moderate effect because they have a cooling effect. It blows from the sea to the land and fills the empty space. This is called sea breeze. So therefore, coastal regions or places close to the sea have moderate climate. They do not have extreme climate. Now, extreme means too hot or too cold. So summers will be very hot, winters will be very cold. So this is, see, now what happens, see this, here it is given why Chandigarh is very cold in winters and in Mumbai it is not. So if you do not know where Chandigarh is and where Mumbai is, you will not be able to answer this question. So Mumbai is near the coast with sea, Arabian Sea, right? So what happens, and Chandigarh is away. Now here the point of equator will not come. Here the point of sea will come. Moderate effect on Mumbai. So the climate is moderate, neither too hot, neither too cold, but in Chandigarh it is extreme climate. So the reason is sea. Okay, now the next factor influencing the climate is height above the sea level. Now, height is also called altitude, remember, because the question will be explain how altitude affects the climate of a place. So, 1 degree Celsius drop of temperature for every 100 meters of altitude. This sentence you have to write first. Second, that is why the higher places are cooler. Mountains are colder than plains. Now, if you see this Mount Kilimanjaro, see, whenever you are studying social studies, always keep a map book with you because it is important to look in the maps to understand and to keep it. When you are able to remember it gets really very easy. So, Africa is located near the equator, and this mountain is also just near the equator if you see, but still it is covered with snow. Why? Only because of the altitude. Now see, examples of hill station, you should know all the hill stations of India, because if the question comes why Nainital is cooler, so you should know that first Nainital is a hill station, then the answer will have the effect of altitude. So if you do not know hill station names, then again you will lose marks because you will not be able to answer the question. Then is direction of winds. The winds blowing from cold regions bring cool air. Yes, it's like the winds coming from Himalayas. That is why north it is really very cool. And the winds, if they are coming from Rajasthan, they make Delhi hot in summers. Winds coming from the sea will bring a lot of water vapor. That is why it will lead to cool and humidity. So how direction of winds help alter the climate? So you have to write 3 points. One from the cold winds, hot winds, and the one winds from the sea. Okay. Now we come to humidity and rainfall. See, each and every point a separate question arises. How altitude affects the climate, how direction of winds affect the climate, how latitude affects the climate, how humidity affects the climate. So you have to remember this. So what is humidity? This itself is a very good point. What is humidity? The amount of, the presence of water vapor in the air. So it will also depend upon the location of the place. Now places near the equator are hot and humid and receive a lot of rainfall throughout the year. Air over the deserts do not have moisture. So these places receive very little or no rainfall. See, there is a question also given in the back. Why deserts? You can say name of the desert. Say why Rajasthan. Thar desert does not have rainfall. There is also a desert in Ladakh, which is called the cold desert. It also does not have rainfall. Why? Number one, the air does not have moisture, because see, the water vapor is required, then only the precipitation will take place. Yes or no? So the air does not have moisture, air over the desert, so it does not rain or very little rain. Also, it these two deserts are present in the rain shadow areas. Now what is rain shadow? See, it's not in the syllabus, but see, when the wind says, suppose they have the moisture, if there is a mountain coming in front of it, what happens? It will rain there on the west side and not on the east side. So if the Thar is present on the east side, then it will not receive the rainfall. So these are the 2 points why deserts do not have rainfall. A place located near large water bodies like oceans, seas and rivers would be more humid than places situated far away from them. This is also important because see, the you need water for humidity. So the places which are near the oceans and seas, the wind coming from there will have a lot of water vapor, so that is why they will have more rainfall. Okay, so humidity also depends on the direction of the wind. The winds coming from the sea to land will have more moisture causing rainfall. Now if you see from opposite side, from land to sea, they usually are dry. That this is, the mechanism of how monsoon rain happens, because they are traveling from the Indian Ocean, they are taking moisture and then they are traveling all over India and bringing rainfall. Okay, so these points you have to remember, that what are the factors which affect the climate of a place. Only name, so you should know the name. Otherwise, they are going to ask any one factor and tell you to explain. Now we come to the second topic, heat zones of the world. See, we have divided this. These are the latitudes which we have studied in our previous class also. Now we have also divided this according to the amount of heat a region gets. So accordingly, we have the torrid zone. See, this is the torrid zone from Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn. Hottest, receiving vertical rays of the sun. This part from Arctic Circle to Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn to Antarctic Circle. This is north, this is south. These two zones are called temperate zones. So this will receive slanting rays. So neither too hot, neither too cold. Now we come to the frigid zone. Now what is frigid zone is also called polar zone. Okay, you remember this another name of it. Now this is between the Arctic Circle. This is the Arctic Circle, North Pole, and in the southern hemisphere, Antarctic Circle and the South Pole. It is the most extreme cold, it is present here. You know where is India located? See, you should remember this. Equator lies below India. Equator passes below India. It is not, so our country is above the equator. Okay, and Tropic of Cancer passes in the middle, through the middle of India. Okay, then what else is there? Okay, being the farthest from the equator, these areas receive slanting rays. So the frigid zones are the coldest. So see, direct vertical rays, then slanting rays, and the most slanting rays. So that is where they are the most cold. Now, is there any impact of climate and season on our daily lives? Yes. So we have everything related to the climate. Suppose people living in the hot areas, they would prefer which type of food? Cold foods, buttermilk, juices, more of fruits. And if compared to the cold areas, if they have to stay, they prefer more fatty and foods, hot foods like soups. Then they eat more of dried foods. Similarly, there is a difference in the clothing. In summer areas, they want to have light shaded cotton clothes, but in cool areas or in cold areas, they will wear woolen clothes. Even the houses, you can say, more rainfall, slanting roofs, and even there are stilt houses where the water logging takes place, right? And if you see, they want insulation. Example is igloos, if you see. So any of these things you can write: food, clothing, type of houses. You can take two examples of, say, hot and warm, and hot areas and cold areas, and accordingly write. So it does, yes, affect. And even the crops which we grow, that also it depends according to the seasons. Okay, Now, see, this is a very, very small and easy chapter. In this, it is just they are asking this which will get, see, water takes more time to heat up and more time to cool. So it is, if you are putting it both the bowls, the sand will become more hot. Okay. And what else? This experiment is related to this part only. See, if you do not understand, it is given here when we are talking about that seawater heats up and cools down slower than land. So it will heat up also slowly and it will cool down also slowly. Okay, so once it is heated up, it will remain warm. Okay, so here this will cool down slowly if you keep it inside the room, but this will take time to cool. And here it will become hot quickly as compared to water. Okay. Now what else? See, the chapter is finished. If we do the question answers, temperate zone is neither too hot or neither too cold. Torrid zone, which we had done between the Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn. There is a frigid zone and a north frigid zone and a south frigid zone, also called polar. Hottest zone is always the torrid zone. Okay. Now we come to this part. See, we have to match this. Okay. Extreme temperature, torrid zone. Okay. Low temperature, we always have high altitude. Places far away from the sea have moderate temperature. Oh, and then oh sorry, places close to the sea have moderate temperature. So always sea has a moderate effect on the climate of a place. Okay. Okay. No, there is missing something. Wait. Places have close to the sea have moderate temperature. Away from the sea have extreme temperature. High altitude, low temperature. Torrid zone receives direct sun rays. Frigid zone receives slanting sun rays. Okay. Now, places that are far away from the equator are cooler. Water in seas and ocean heats up and cools down slowly. Temperature drop by 1 degree Celsius for every 100 meters, which is between Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn. It is the torrid, frigid zone, coldest. This we have done. This we have done. Weather and climate, torrid zone, frigid zone. Again the same, hot, cold, direct rays, slanting rays. You can tell the location. Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn. Here in the north hemisphere and the south hemisphere. Okay, 3 points. Climate of a place is affected by both its latitude and altitude. See, example, you can give anything like latitude, places near the equator and away from the equator. That is called latitude. So places near the equator, if you say South India, it is more near the equator, so it will be hot. Okay. Altitude, you can say of, say, Darjeeling, Nainital, anything you can say. Or you can also give the example of the world, if not of India, the one which was given of Africa. It is present near the equator, but since the mountain, what was the name of that mountain? Wait, let me see. Kilimanjaro. Okay. It is located near the equator, but its peak is still covered with snow. So altitude हो गया. Okay. Latitude में you can write even of this Mumbai and Chandigarh, which we had read in the book. Mumbai is more near the equator as compared to Chandigarh. That is why I told you always keep a map with you. The location of the cities is very, very important when it comes to social studies. Okay, Thar Desert and Ladakh. Oh, okay, wait, we left some question. Moderate climate compared to inland regions. Why coastal? We have to write about land breeze and sea breeze here. That is why it exerts a moderate effect. Patna in Bihar is farther from the equator than Kolkata. Now you should know again, where is Patna? Kolkata is more near the equator, but still Patna is hotter. Why? Because Kolkata is near the coastal area, near Bay of Bengal. Sea exerts a moderate effect on Kolkata. Okay, Tiruvananthapuram is always hotter than Shimla and Darjeeling. Here it comes the altitude. Okay, this is present in Kerala, and Shimla and Darjeeling, they are present, they are at a high altitude. So remember this. So altitude plays a role. With every 100 meter, 1 degree Celsius drop in temperature. So these are hill stations. Thar and Ladakh, no rainfall. Air over the desert has almost nil water vapor. That is why humidity, which we had talked about, no water vapor. Also, they are in the rain shadow. They are located in the rain shadow area. Equator receive direct sunlight focused over a small area. That is why they are more hot than the poles. Okay, what else? Just this. Very, very, very easy chapter. The only thing which you can confuse about is the name of these places. Like why Shimla? If you do not know Shimla is a hill station, then you won't be able to write the answer, because they are going to give you actually the name of the cities. And then you have to find out which factor is related to it. Is it the latitude? Is it the sea? Is it the altitude? Generally, these three factors will come if it comes in the form of an example. Okay, that's it.